What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, have you ever heard people argue about who has the worst life of them all? Like they're constantly trying to one up each other about how messed up their life is. Okay, hey man, my dad left when I was 5. Oh yeah, well, I never met my dad. Oh yeah, well, that's probably good because my dad just beat me and beat my mom and just abused us. And the other person will have something else to say. They're always constantly trying to one up each other. And what is it exactly that they're arguing about? They're arguing about their suffering, okay? Because for some reason, it's like the more suffering a person undergoes, this is like some sort of show of strength, right? Or you could perhaps use it as an excuse for why you're in this position that you're in today that you're not exactly happy with. You can give yourself all these excuses about how messed up your life is and stuff like this, right? I remember reading this book one time called The Odyssey by this old dude named Homer. You probably have never heard of him. But there's this part in the book where all the men, they're like, come on, let us share with each other tales of our misfortune. Every man takes pleasure in sharing about his misfortune. And this is sort of true. We can relate to each other, right? But misery loves company. And I see this all the time. I see people arguing with each other about how bad their life is, or the types of bad decisions that they can make. Oh, I can make worse decisions than you, or something like this, right? And it is sort of silly to me, but there's another level to this, right? It can be all too easy for us to get stuck in our misery, right? And we can tell ourselves all of these stories and make believe within ourselves, within our minds, that we are struggling uniquely, that we are struggling more profoundly than any other human that has ever walked this planet. And the simple fact of the matter is, this is just not true. We are all human. We all suffer. We all exist on a range of human emotions, and we all experience this range, right? Just because a person looks like they might be doing better than you doesn't mean that they're not suffering, right? Just because somebody has X amount of money in their bank account doesn't mean that they're happy or that they're functioning well in their life. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people I know that if they were in my position, they wouldn't be able to handle it. And I'm not saying that my struggle is that bad. I'm saying my attitude is that good. Some people have such a shitty attitude that if they were in my position, they wouldn't be able to make it. They would be suffering 10 times more than I would be just because of my attitude, okay? It's all too easy to get stuck and sucked into our own misery and believe that we are suffering more profoundly than anyone else. But this is a dangerous thought. This will leave you disconnected from the world. This will snatch from you every last little bit of compassion and empathy you have for your fellow humans, right? You will walk around and not feel anything. You, in fact, might begin to hate people, hate society, or hate the world, or something like this. But if you can understand suffering, that we all suffer, and we all suffer uniquely, right? Because we're all having a unique experience, but no one is suffering more profoundly than anyone else. And if you can understand this, that we all suffer, this is your bridge to compassion, to empathy, and ultimately to love. A universal type of love that we could all use a little bit more of in our life, man. Anyway, I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. And until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.